So we'll go
All
and hop
right.
into game number 3 here.
Yes, and I am gonna record this one for YouTube. Make sure that we catch
Awesome.
this. So for our YouTube audience coming in, this is game 3 of adaptive between Team SAS and Don't Touch My Conte. And they are Little Fit here is starting with 6 chains. They bid in another room, and then here, so he's gonna have his own deck at 6 chains, and just the guy playing is gonna have no chains.
Okay, so you are able to add chains before the game starts. That's cool. Sweet. That's good to know. Yeah, I was one of those. I never knew, so I just always did it in adaptive solo, but this works well. So, and again, once they mulligan, it'll show 5 chains just because that first chain does trigger on the mulligan turn. So they did do everything correctly. It's just instead of drawing 6 or 7, you would draw 5 or 6.
Well, I'm excited to see this deck in action at the chain level. Now, yeah, I feel like if you can get that early Helmsman Spears and start cycling a little bit quicker with those chains, he could be off to a quick start.
Yep, I think one thing that is pretty scary going into this matchup with chains on that deck is the chain gang and double subtle chain. If he's able to kind of get those subtle chains rolling, you know, that is where you make the changes feel like that many more. So we'll see what happens there. I think the Igors can cycle pretty fast to make that a thing.
All right, and here we go.
So we are ready to start. It looks like Little Fit is going to be going first. Again, starting at 6 cards instead of 7 because he does have those chains and it does trigger. And if he chooses to mulligan, he would be playing at 5 cards. So I think the other deck, the Chain Gang Subtle Chain deck, is probably looking for those. The Igor is just something to cycle quickly, get out to as early of a lead as possible. Daughter's a great opener to
and let's not forget the subtle chain discarding cards from his hand. Yeah, right, just like that. Yeah, so you hurt him even more. Yeah.
So if he's able to get a board out at all and maintain that to protect the chain gang to kind of keep that cycle rolling, it could get pretty nasty. Looks like a pretty decent start for both of them though. Daughter is able to make the chains not feel so bad. Subtle chain just kind of hit right back and said, nope, you're still playing on the chains.
Yep.
So
I'm a little sad that he killed Whisper. I feel like I've never been able to see Whisper do its full Whisper thing.
Yeah, it's just awkward. You never want to lose Amber, so it would have to be a very important creature to be worth losing an Amber for.
Now, this Universal Recycle Bin is an interesting card to bring to a tournament where you are likely to see lots of Infernuses to archive a Purge card you own.
Yeah, I dig it a lot. It's just an easy way to kind of get some cheap Amber. Worst case scenario, it thins out your deck and you get an Amber pip for it. So, yeah, it's just one of those cards. Has a lot of upside and doesn't hurt you to be in your deck. So, I dig it for sure. So, Creative Nurture is really interesting to me when I played against this deck. It helped a lot with, I think I used it for Frayne one turn to pull him just off check. But, again, it can also be used for the Helmsman Spear. So, as long as he just has a creature out, he can cycle his entire hand, essentially do like a half of a punctuated equilibrium try to cycle.
There's a quick Kincan trigger called Saurian and was able to steal.
Yep, and it looks like he's getting the upgrade train rolling on the Kincan. So he's going to probably try to build around the... So yeah, he'll probably try to build around that and see what happens.
Yeah, there's the Odiak. Going to prevent that.
Right.
Interesting. So yeah, so he can spend the Amber on Odiak, so he could forge next turn, but then he leaves himself open to being stolen from. So I wonder if he's gonna try to work in another exalting. Well, it doesn't matter because Nature's Call. There you go. That's
we'll just put that right on back.
You love seeing Nature's Call against a bunch of dinos. That's for sure.
Yeah, especially to get that upgrade out of there. So even though Odoak can come back and steal, which isn't too big of a deal, even with the kinking out, it's tough to pull off. Yeah, it's just a good play there to get rid of the ideal there. So it looks like Logos is the only house that is the same between these two. So to avoid a steal here, this guy would only be able to call Shadows or Saurian. So looks like he does call Shadows, and Kinkin's got 2 triggers now. That's really solid start. Yeah. So I like that Hawk play there just to get rid of
yes, but
rid of Green Nurture. So.
But now he can go back to Untamed and trigger Kincan.
Yeah, he can. I just think the upside with the potential Helmsman Spear in hand is just too high to just leave it out there. Because that's just it just makes the change non-existent at that point. And
hey, let's not miss that he subtle chained and discarded Kirby. That's a big pickup.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looked like he was a little bit fortunate to have more of Logos hand instead of Star Alliance here. Kind of a bummer that he didn't get that steal. So just happened to have those cards available. I'm curious what that Archives card is. If it was able to be something pretty helpful or just kind of just a random thing. So I wouldn't hate to see like the Fangtooth Cavern in there or something, just because you're probably not going to want it in this matchup with wanting to dominate the board quickly.
Right. Man, Kincan, a third trigger.
Yeah, and he has it might be tough to see
right
on Twitch. He has the Light of the Archons and the Encounter Suit on there. So that Encounter Suit is clutch to protect him. So with the Elusive and the Encounter Suit, I mean, he's just going to be there all game. So the faster that just a guy playing can build up some sort of board to avoid that triggering as much as possible, I think the better. But yeah, 3 stolen Amber already is just gross. As long as Odoak stays out there, I can't steal it anymore. But I'm sure Little Fit's going to want to get rid of that as quickly as possible.
So back to Logos, towards Eddie, information exchange to steal. Or not steal, actually, because Odiak.
Yep.
And then Wild Wormhole. GG, everybody.
GG in the chat. You all know the rules.
Yep. You never know what you're going to get, except a win. Look at Voltron Kincan here, 5 power, 3 armor.
Yeah, he's scary. Yeah, it's kind of like you almost wish that it was on a Helmsman or a Frame here, just something that could stay strong into the late game. But even just to protect Eddie with the well, no, it doesn't actually. It doesn't have the cloaking dongle on there yet, so he's probably still cycling to try to find.
So he had to discard the Code Monkey because he didn't want to knock the wards off either of these guys.
Yep. Kept them protected. He wouldn't have gained the 2 Amber anyway. Yeah, it's better to kind of toss that one away.
Some good back and forth, but just the guy playing. I don't know what his real name is. But he forged his first keys, so Desania.
Nice.
Hurts to see that sometimes, but there you go.
Yeah. Does it show what was discarded there?
Yeah, Cauldron Boil.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Yeah,
I will say one of my favorite moments in this tournament was dropping a Desania on Dave Cordero for 4 in his Data Forge Logos Insanity deck. And that was extremely satisfying. I'm sure he probably still beat me. I genuinely don't remember, but it was a fun moment.
We'll just assume the answer to that is yes, and we'll move on. So, wow, another wild.
And there's the cloaking dongle. Come on, Kincan, let's get you to 10. Come on.
Well, I don't think 10 is possible, but
yeah.
He's still pretty beefy. He's got 10 health with the 4 shields, so we'll count it.
Beefy dude.
Indeed. So let's see here.
I wish I knew what happened in the Triad game, or if we could get some kind of update there. If anybody knows in the chat or someone watching, if you could let us know what happened in the Triad game, because we know SAS won in the solo Archon, and we're watching this game 3 here. I'm curious how much this game matters if in the Triad. So if anyone has that information, please let us know.
Likely that one's still going. I feel like those typically go to game 3s, and just playing different decks each time takes a little bit more thought, because once you just get even a rep or 2 against the decks, you can figure them out a little bit faster. So
that is funny. I think because I was our triad player, and I do think every single one of my matches went to game 3.
Yeah, especially if you have the open deck list, just to be able to get a decent idea for like, all right, what deck's probably going to get a win out of one of these two. You're likely to play that one first, just to push that potential game 3. So yeah, adaptive even more so though with the playing the same decks. I think I only had I had 2 rounds that went just 2 games where the same deck did not win. It's just the player. So
yep. All right, so bold players on 1 key and 4 amber. This is tight.
Yeah, very close. Again, I think the chains did help out, even though the chains are gone now, and it seems like Littlefit should make a comeback because he was able to build this board and stall it. I think he's actually protected it really well from potential helmsman shenanigans. So I still feel like just a guy playing in a good spot. It should be a very tight game down to the finish. I'm not quite sure if chain gang can trigger here. He would need to play the chain gangs and then play the subtle chains to ready it. So it'd be a little bit tough. I think he's only played the one chain though. No, he's played both. He's
played both. Yep.
Okay, so he could play down the chain gangs, but they would not be protected.
Yep. Okay, so he couldn't quite get to check. He got to 5 amber. Mm-hmm. Oh, and there's the quadricorder, which right now.
Wow.
Wait, I'm confused. +1. Why are his key? Oh, there it is. I was looking at the wrong key cost. I was like, why do his keys still cost 6? So there's the helmsman spears. Oh yeah, Can got bigger. There you go.
He did. He's up to 7. So I do believe that is all of the upgrades now. So,
boy, I tell you what, that spears is protected pretty well.
I think it just has the elusive.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I forgot. For some reason, I was thinking he had taunt.
Yeah.
Or Can had taunt.
So, let's see. The other deck does have 3 copies of Twin Bolt, so I'd imagine if some of them are still available.
Oh, General Order 24.
That is a nasty card for sure. So, it's decent value here just to pop the ward on Eddie, especially if he's probably going to call Logos next turn.
Yep.
So yeah, this just protects Helmsman that much more. He'll probably have to get rid of his 2 Logos guys here. Very unfortunate.
And he doesn't get the trigger off Titan Guardian because he moved. Or did he move him? I don't remember. But I've seen a lot in this tournament. A lot of Titan Guardian sacrifices to get the draw power.
Yeah. So Moon did move him over.
Okay.
So
that's smart. All right. So yeah. So looks like he's debating what he wants to do here. Because we can't see his hand, but it would be hard if you did have a bunch of Logos cards in hand, and you wanted to go Logos.
Yeah, he probably has a Twin Bolt emissions here at this point to try to kill off. Oh, well, no, he's actually played all 3. My apologies.
Okay. All right.
So I'm trying to see what other board control he might have available to him. He's used Tertiate.
What about the Hawks? Does he still have his Hawks? There's one.
He used one for the Creative Nurture.
Yeah. So he's got 1 Hawk left. So he could potentially. He'll have to lose. It doesn't matter. He's losing either the 2 Logos guys or the Saurians. I'd really be shocked if he gave up these beefy. Obviously, he has the ward on Odiak.
Yep. Which having two houses available just gives him more options. That's a good point about the Hawk to see if he does get rid of it. Because just the pop of the ward on Eddie doesn't feel great when you know that's coming back your way.
Yep.
So.
I don't think I have any good decks with General Order 24 that I've. Okay, so he does destroy the Logos. Wait, does it destroy all creatures?
Just his side, I believe.
No, it's every creature of the chosen creature's house. So he was able to pop the ward on Eddie. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever realized that because I haven't played it.
Yeah, that's a good point. So now he would have to lose his Eddie and give up that one Amber, which isn't the end of the world, but does hurt a little bit. So yeah, I don't think there's any way he would ever call Star Alliance that.
I mean, right now that Eddie's
see.
not doing a lot because there's no archive cards in Little Fitz deck.
Yeah, exactly. So he probably wants to, if he was going to get rid of it, now's the time to do it, where he's about to cycle his hand again.
True. Yep, that's a great call.
So let's see here. Just looking through discard piles right now, seeing what's still available. Let's see. There is a stealth mode still available for Little Fit. He does have that in hand now that we have total knowledge. That card is definitely backbreaking here. A little bit tougher into the giant Saurian, into the big Saurian board. Just that can kind of hit some triggers, make some things happen here. So I'm curious, does he take out the Eddie here? Yeah, so you take out the Eddie. Is dead.
Oh, and he popped because he popped the wards. I was like, why is he going after Kincan? Wow.
Yep, I dig that. So he keeps his board. Unfortunately, he's going to lose it next turn. Odoak would be the only one to stay alive. So we see the Universal Keylok come down. Interesting. Yeah. So let's see. Mimic Gel came down. I think it probably, copied Odoak. So it does have the 5 power. It is still a Lotus card. Does not lose its ward with 24 trigger. So very interesting spot. I don't. Universal Keylok's always awkward to play, especially if you are the one that has to forge at 9.
I hate that card so much, so much. I've got one deck with double Universal Keylok, and it's the most awkward deck to play because you play this like chess game of like who's gonna forge at 12 plus, and then essentially immediately give up at least a key. It's weird. Yeah, not tonight in the chat making some good points. He's saying it's why it's such a good adaptive deck. Lots of little played cards that are hard to play. Keylok, another great adaptive card. That's a great point. Yeah, there are some in your Creative Nurture is another one. These rares that, are sort of very. Like when you Creative Nurture Helmsman Spears or Kirby or whatever, there's some interesting play effects. I think you used it on a Frayne to extend the game that you eventually won.
Yeah, because I played the Fangtooth Cavern and was going to kill off a Dust Imp to win, so I had to bring them down 3 below the key cost. So I had to use the Frayne to make that happen and then play the Frayne. So very awkward turn, but yeah, it's such a fun adaptive though, just because you can find very cheeky answers to kind of pull things off. So yeah, great points about adaptive is kind of I think the big strategies we learned recently was if you have Punctuated Equilibrium, that's a great card to lose a chain, cycle hand, stop what your opponent's doing. Binding Irons is another great one to either level the field with chains or push it even more. And then just if you can cycle quickly with like Daughters or Zenzix.
So that's interesting too. So he had to go logos to play what he wants, knowing General Order 24, Little Fit's gonna be able to pop the word on Mimic Gel and kill.
Yeah, it looks like just Igor dies.
Oh yeah, I guess just Igor. Yep. That dirty little reassembling automaton.
Okay, so stealth mode comes down finally. So we did know that was in his hand. One thing though is it is the only card in the discard pile, so that was going to be really tough to pull back. That is, it can almost be like a control the weak style card where you use that to try to win the game. So here with both of them at 8 or at 1 key, it feels a little bad to have it that early. He was able to play the Helmsman, start getting that train rolling with the Light of the Archons to buff it. So we'll see if he's able to utilize that well.
Wait, what? He uses General Order 24 to destroy reassembling automaton Odiak the Patrician. It was the Mimic Gel. It was the Mimic Gel that had mimicked Odiak. Yeah, but Mimic Gel is still a Logos card. Mimic Gel has so many weird bugs on online because there's like a million different things. So the chat says it weird, but it's basically Logos, guys.
Yeah, trying to program around that card alone just had to be an absolute nightmare. Yeah. I don't know how they did that.
Oh, here comes the chain gang and the J vendors.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I think it's a good time to do it. We'll see if the Hawk comes down to get rid of the 24. If he uses that again to kill off the Helmsman here, I would like to see the Helmsman die. So we'll see what happens there. Interesting that he did cycle, so the subtle change back in his deck at this point.
Man, this General Order 24 changes the
spicy.
game dramatically, right?
It's very spicy. I like it though with the automaton down because it doesn't hurt him anymore to leave it out. So yeah, if anything, I would just get rid of the hologramophone if I played my Hawk here. So let's see. So yeah, Helmsman goes away. That's a huge hurt for Little Fit here.
Yeah, and now with the reassembling automaton, it's like now just a guy playing. He's in a great position to
Interesting. So he only brought back one of the chain gangs, so I'm very curious. Oh, he left the shadows up. I was interested to see why he brought the other chain gang up, though. Hold on.
Wait.
Called return. No, he did. Oh, he only played one chain gang. My apologies. I read that incorrectly.
Okay, so he Nature's Call. Oh, because sorry, I
just left
that.
shadows.
Yeah, so he just wrecked the shadows because the Nature's Call was able to get rid of the other two houses. That's a solid play.
Yep, definitely. Here, you got to consider is just a guy playing. Do you let them go and forge at 9 and push up Amber yourself? Or do you try to pull them off check? It's going to be really tough now without the chain gangs to make that happen. And I don't see any real way to get those cards back, unfortunately. So he still has one in the deck, but that Nature's Call really hurt.
I think it's smart to go Logos. Because next turn on a Little Fit, if he wants to go Logos, his Untamed guys are dying from General Order, and then if he does go Logos, then when it comes back to just a guy next round, he'll obviously kill everything, and then that will wreck the General Order 24. It'll be gone. Yeah, I kind of wanted out the whole game. I think this is really fun to watch.
Yeah, as people just spectating, this is definitely a fun one. I'm intrigued to see what his options are here with that Igor.
And, he does have Double Hawk back in his deck, so he might be holding on to it, waiting for the right moment to get rid of the 24.
Exactly. So, let's see. It looks like a lot of the big cards for the Rutherford deck have kind of already been played. Obviously, he still has answers with... like an Eddie to at least get 1. Code Monkey can potentially push that to 3 to make keys cost a lot. But the big, you just win the game cards, for the most part, have already been used. The Nature's Call, the Helmsman, the Stealth Mode, feels bad that they're already out. And you're just forging your second key here, not your third. So I think the door is open. Obviously, losing all those Shadows creatures really hurt, but...
All right, here comes Twin Bolt.
Yeah.
Does he kill his own Igor here?
Oh, interesting. So he had to get rid of Subtle Chain and Igor there. That hurt a lot. Man, I'm very curious what that other card was, especially to get rid of an Igor on a Logos turn.
Twin Bolt. Oh, he got the if there are any other creatures in play instead of destroying, fully healed, exhaust, and move to a flank. Wonder how that works with the timing of General Order 24. Oh, so here comes the logo. So, like I said, it's gonna. So, will the reassembling automaton will he die from General Order 24?
He won't, but the other board will. So, General Order 24 will be destroyed after just a guy playing's turn, and he will just be left with the automaton out and whatever he decides to play this turn. So.
Oh, now he's boarding. So
interesting. Yep. Okay.
More 24. But then he removed the ward with the Code Monkey. Okay.
I dig it. So because I was curious of why he chose to leave that out of the middle, but yeah, that makes sense. Good play. So General Order 24 will be destroyed next turn. So now just got playing, just wants to build up as big of a board as he can.
Yeah.
So two keys each. Little Fit's closer to forging here. Man, I would love to see a big J Vinda play here, like get a bunch of them out to try to get some steal going. It's just some weird plays right now, trying to get over that hump.
Now, Little Fit, he's got 9 cards in hand because of that Titan Guardian gave him something, gave him extra cards, and he's got the archive, so he's got a lot of options going into this this next round. He did forge his second key, so both players at 2 keys, and it's a race to the finish. Ooh, this is exciting. I like this. Any word?
Yeah.
Any word on the? Oh, there's the hawk. Yeah.
Yeah. Had to get rid of hologramophone there. The General Order 24 is going to be destroyed next turn. Wow.
I mean, it didn't matter. Yeah, get the Amber Burst.
Yeah. So he's got up to 6 now, which is awesome. So he is at check. So this really puts some pressure on Littlefit to make something happen. He snap picks Untamed. Interesting. He must have the Mustic Murmook here to snap call that one. Interesting.
Yep, you're right.
Okay. So that pulls him back 1 at least. We'll see if he has another answer here. I don't know if he has too many great Amber cards, though. He has the... Yeah. I don't think he's going to be able to call check here, though. He might get stuck at 6.
Can he get to... Oh, man, that's hard.
It is. So the other awkward thing, you can't kill Mustic Murmook here because then he would forge at 6. So...
Does he have any key cheats in it? He does not. Well, no, we do know universal key lock. Well, or is
he chooses to kill that. Plays a Pharaoh to capture 1. Awesome. So he's in a good spot here. Frayne is an option with for Littlefit. It's a little bit awkward without the Creative Nurture being able to trigger, though, because you can't play Fight or Reap to get that extra Amber captured. So we really wanted to see Mustic Murmook stay out there.
That is a Saurian board right there.
It's a Saurian board. If you play Frayne, though, you're able to capture 1 to pull him straight off of check. So still up to anybody's game.
All right, so he's going Star Alliance. You're probably right. You're calling the plays here, Jim. Look at you, the play-by-play.
Man, it helps when you've played this matchup. For sure. So I feel like I have an unfair advantage there. Interesting. Curious who he decides to move, if at all. I don't see anything too major. Yeah, just to keep Jarda out there. So he has to Frayne here, I believe. I don't think there's anything else. If you have Kinkin, you feeling decent if he's still available.
He still has to pull it out, because even Kinkan doesn't trigger before the Forge of Key Step. Oh, Quadricorder, there you go. That'll do it.
There you go. Oh, forgot about that. Yep, Encounter Suit. So he's making the Voltron Moon going on here. So stalled just a little bit. So I'd imagine we probably just see a giant Reap turn here. I don't see any reason not to. In my opinion.
Yeah, you're going to get a ton of value.
Yeah, because you're going to go up like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you're going to go up 6 Amber, just Reap out here. So I think Littlefit had to do that to stall, and then just kind of hope that it can make it. So it looks like JustAGuyPlayin probably is going to pull this one out. Let me just double check. Again, I'm not seeing anything still available. There wasn't a ton of Amber control in this deck. So he can potentially do like a Frayne, like Creative Nurture the Frayne for the Moon to play the Frayne to capture 2, but you wouldn't be able to play another house to make Quadricorder trigger more. So yeah, JustAGuyPlayin is going to go ahead and call Saurian. I'd imagine we just see a Reap out here. You could potentially hit the Moon because he's not protected with like the Rudodon Auxiliary. I don't think that would hurt, especially just to keep Creative Nurture off play. But I don't see any issue either with just Reaping out.
Yep.
So let's see. Does he use Chain of Hubris? Interesting. Oh, so he chose to fight in there. Seemed maybe a little bit awkward. to do it that way, but it's okay. Still gets the job done. Still way plenty high on amber. Maybe just missed one potential there. So, yeah, pushing up to 11. There's no too much to protect shenanigans. There's no gatekeeper, anything like the big amber pullbacks there. So I think that should be a game there. We'll see. But yeah, that Saurian board is just a little too much there at the end. So those power levels are just too strong.
No.
Especially with all of their
and tribute to boot.
That one is just like, it feels bad. Like, well, you got me.
Yep.
So again, we'll see if Little Fit's able to do anything. Again, I wasn't seeing anything major here.
Why didn't Paraguardian get to ward his neighbors? That's weird.
I think he just chose not to. So, yeah, just playing out his hand here. Yeah, plays Wild Wormhole just to see what he can pull, but there was nothing really left in the deck to make this work. So I think just kind of showing, here's what I had, but that should be a game. So congrats to
That's it, yep.
JustAGuyPlayin. That was very well played. He got rid of the chains in a pretty, Little Fit did well to manage through that and not get too far behind, but just was never able to stick that board to really punish the other deck. So
yeah, that General Order 24 was a lot of fun to watch. I think the key moment was probably when he popped the ward off that King Can and was able to force him to kill 4 of his own Star Alliance guys, because he had a nasty little board going.
Yeah, absolutely. And that Nature's Call was almost so dirty just to get rid of everything. Chain Gang's never hit one able to pull that off. Great game. Congrats to Team SAS here to pull out the win. So we know Dunkero and JustAGuyPlayin both won. So it does mean that they're moving to the final. But also congrats to Don't Touch My Conte. They played lights out this tournament. Great job making top 8. Both teams are just so stellar.
Yeah, phenomenal. He says my heart rate is up. Yeah, that was phenomenal. So, well played, everybody.
Yeah, very nicely done, guys.